All right, ladies and gentlemen, Jason Hetland back here with ForTheRide.com and a Rodeo Roundup. What an awesome opportunity at the opening of night number 9 of the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo. A guy that has been in the arena at the convention center, I believe, at Cowboy Christmas, doing all sorts of cool things for a packed stage. Guy McLean. Guy, thank you so much for visiting with us.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's great to be here in Vegas. You know, it is the entertainment capital of the world, and to be here and showcase Australia and my horses to these wonderful fans, it's been fantastic.
Now, give us a little recap of what you've been doing down there at Cowboy Christmas.
Well, we've been all over Vegas. We do 3 different venues a day, and when we go down at 1 o'clock, I have 45 minutes, and depending on the crowd, I mean, half an hour I'll do of real education, explaining how I do what I do, and 15 minutes I just have the best time with my 5 wonderful horses. I'm just so proud of them. The reason I become an entertainer is so I get paid to travel with them around the world, you know, and so they do some pretty special things. They do everything you'd expect a well-trained horse to do, and they do some things that people have never seen before.
Now, talk to us. You talk about horse training, and you're right. Your 5 horses are tremendous. I watch them every day down there right next to my stage, and it's amazing. Tell us what all goes into training the horses to do what they do for you.
The biggest thing is knowing how clever they are, knowing how their natural ability is. They can only be as good as they can be. All I say to every single horse that I work with is, I will give you my very best, and I will try my hardest, and all I want in return is for you to do the same. You know, I've got one horse in the team that is not an extreme athlete, but he's my number one because he tries harder than all the others. My extreme athlete does incredible things that no other horses in the world can do, and yet he doesn't even have to try too hard to do it, you know. But all I say is commit, give yourself to me, and I'll look after you forever. There's not one horse in this team here that I have in Vegas that will ever be sold from me. They'll live with me forever, and I'll take care of them whenever I can.
You know, and we talk about horses being family members and being treated better than your ordinary house dog or cat. You know, a tragic time in that arena today. Talk to us about that a little bit.
Mate, it was heart-wrenching. I won't mention any names, but 2 of the world's best horsemen were in there doing what they're incredible at on horses that love their job so dearly. And a horse went down the fence and went to be very athletic and got damaged in the front leg. I don't know the extent of it, and all I can hope for, and I know the owners will give him the very best care, and all I can hope for is that God will touch him and he'll live another day, because he's a truly special individual, and I'll say a prayer for him tonight.
Fantastic. Now, when you do your stuff around town, do you use any green horses of other people's in your training seminars, or every one of the horses is your own that you bring with you?
Yeah, every one of my own. When I do equine affairs and those major shows, they'll bring me a horse that's never been ridden, and in an hour I'll be walk, trot, and counting them around. And I'd like to do that here, but a lot of the times you've only got half an hour or 45 minutes, and you don't want to put a time limit on a young horse. The gelding that I have with me, I have a 3-year-old. I've only owned him for 5 weeks. He'd been trained to be as a reiner, but was sort of failing in that area, and yet he's standing up and saying, I want to be a performance horse. He's been amazing, and this Vegas makes them. There's a monster truck over there, there's a big screen over here, there's jets flying over the top, there's 1,000 people around the pen, and he's sleeping over there, you know, saying, if I be a good boy, you'll look after me.
That's fantastic. And if people want to see or go to any of your trainings or get a hold of you to help out with their trainings, is there a way for them to find you, or how do they follow you?
Well, if you Google Guy McLean, all the stuff that I've done on YouTube, and that comes up. My website's on the back here, all the W's.GuyMcLeanUSATour.com. I did about 70 clinics in Australia, and I did a lot of that, but I found that when I was doing that, I was working on low-level problem horses and never had a chance to ride my own. I say to everyone, if I was a full-time clinician, you wouldn't see me. I'd be in Australia doing 70 of them a year. So over here, I want to be a master, and a master works at the very highest level. And as a master, I get to show everyone what can be accomplished when you devote your life to them. I'm not a singer, I'm not a dancer, I'm a horseman. From the time I get up in the morning to the time I go to bed, there's no fluke why my horses go that good. My life is dedicated and devoted to them. And I want to show that if you're prepared to do that, people say, can anyone do what you do? And I say, if they're prepared to give as much as I give and devote myself, you can go a long way. But you know, a horse isn't going to give to you completely until you give to him the same.
Now, for our fans at ForTheRide.com and the Rodeo Roundup, what is one great tip from the world's best horse trainer on how to trailer a horse if a horse is having a hard time going in the trailer?
Well, the biggest thing with anything is to do what benefits the horse. A lot of people think the horse is going to go on because he loves us. The horse does everything because he loves him. He says, what can I do to benefit me? So I just say, the last thing I want you to do is go on that trailer. You don't need to go on there at all. But let's see if you can trot over a log and back over a tarp and go through a creek. And if you're lucky, if you're really lucky, I'll let you go on that trailer. My horses, they pile on there as soon as they can. They say, when we're on this trailer, all we do is stand still. You know, a lot of people try to get a horse on a trailer like they try to get a child into a bedroom. If you told the child to go into the bedroom and made him, he would fight you. If you said, don't go in your bedroom, you're not allowed, go and mow the lawn, do the dishes, go and clean up your brother's room, he'd hide in his bedroom to get away from it. So I say to my horses, we'll do all these other things, and if you're lucky, you'll get to go on that trailer. And when my horses load up, they think they're the luckiest horses in the world to be able to go on there and be rested. You know, they've got to think it benefits them. You know, I could be here and say I don't like picking up the manure and doing all the miles. I think of how lucky I am for that moment in that arena where I can show the world a better way of dealing with horses.
Now, the last question, because I know you're a pretty busy guy to start around 9. You know, you're from Australia. How do you get your horses over here in the States to do the shows?
And we flew them over with IRT, International Racehorse Transport. They fly horses in and out from all over the world. They're terribly professional. They were wonderful. The horses flew over in a Cargo Lux jet plane. I was able to fly with them. There was 3 boxes with horses from New Zealand and Australia. Probably $1 million worth of horses. Certainly what I think mine are worth. And then there was sports cars and lots of different stuff, but the horses flew over very safe. They landed here fatter than when they left, and they've just been performing their hearts out and been unreal since I've had them here.
That's fantastic. And 1 day left, round 10 tomorrow. As soon as we're done here, where can the folks that are in Las Vegas right now find you throughout the day tomorrow?
It's wonderful. Tomorrow we're going to be at Mandalay Bay from 10:30 for an hour. Then we go straight across to the convention centre for 45 minutes at 1 o'clock. And then depending on the weather, it's pretty cool tonight, we'll be here from 5:30 on. And depending on the horses and the amount of people, we do 1 or 2 demos here every evening at the Thomas & Mack Centre in the Preferred Arena.
That's fantastic. And, you know, we're doing an interview, and your family members wanted to come get on camera too. I saw, you know, they love the camera as much as we all do too, I think.
Well, they do. They are the stars of the show, and I'd be fooling myself if I thought they weren't.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Hetland here with ForTheRide.com and a Rodeo Roundup with a world-renowned horse trainer, Guy McLean.